Howard Stern is a talentless, vile, vulgar, foul-mouthed scumbag. Howard Stern, the guy that they call the king of all media. Howard Stern, the man who gave us an autobiographical movie of himself entitled Private Parts. Howard Stern, who is paid by SiriusXM $500 million. And then you can't even listen to his show on the regular XM. You've got to buy yet another higher, more expensive subscription within your subscription if you want to listen to this guy basically just be vulgar. You know, strippers on radio inserting things into their private areas like, this is what this sounds like with a cucumber in there. I mean, that's the Howard Stern show. You know, he broke into New York radio. He was the first shock jock in the nation. I was on a radio station in Albany, New York when he was trying to take down, or I should say a rival rock station on the other side of town was trying to take down the number one rock station in Albany. And so they brought in the Howard Stern show by syndication. And for a couple of days, you know, Howard talked about and used the call letters of the Albany station trying to take down the number one rock station in the city. He didn't. Because remember in the beginning, Stern played music and then he did, you know, his vulgar commentary. And, you know, nobody talks about, you know, he's making $500 million, but the people that he has abused and misused and thrown away, and, you know, we can get into the whole sexism, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Not going to do that. Suffice to say this. He did something that had never been done. WNBC in New York let him do it. He went to number one. People wanted to listen to that maniac. And because he was a ratings juggernaut, well, it just shows you that people are drawn not necessarily to the fact that you're a good person and you got great character and we just want to be around you, but you know, you're a ratings whore. You know how to generate an audience. And so he was able to book every famous person that could possibly be booked to interview. And he interviewed everybody. And, you know, there were times he just absolutely just completely just exploited people on the air. And some of these people you would think, are you really that down and out? Are you really that hard up? Are you really so at a loss that you're not famous anymore that you would let this guy degrade you on the air? He had, I think it's Denver Pyle, who played Gilligan on Gilligan's Island, had him on, and the actress that played Marianne. He had the two of them on together, and he had them smoke a tampon on the air. And you know, I remember just even as a I can't remember if I was an older teenager or a young adult just breaking into radio at that time. Listen to that, like, really? You think this little of yourself that you would go on a program like this and allow yourself to be so denigrated this way? He did this to all kinds of famous people, and you're like, nobody just gets up and walks out. Now, he used to interview Donald Trump, and then he decided, you know, that he really hated Donald Trump, and he went after Donald Trump the entire 4 years of his presidency. But now he has declared that if Donald Trump throws his hat into the ring for 2024, he's going to run against him, and there's, quote, no way he'd lose. Oh, really? He says all he has to do is play the tape of the phone call of Donald Trump calling the governor of Georgia saying, find me those votes. And he would just play that over and over and over. Well, Howard, we got a lot of your stuff we could play over and over and over. When Donald Trump was first running back in 2016 and the liberals were high-fiving each other because they felt Megyn Kelly really took him down in debate number one. And, of course, it eventually opened the door for her gig at NBC and then ultimately her firing and being kicked to the curb. But Megyn, I believe it was in 2010, went on the Howard Stern show. And you understand when you go on there, he's going to try to put you in an uncomfortable situation. And on the one hand, people are like, oh, Megyn did such a great job when he was being such a sexist pig. But if you listen to her answers, what does this say about Megyn Kelly? Megyn Kelly, who, posed in lingerie for a magazine in New York, because that's what credible news people do. Megyn Kelly, who's on the Howard Stern show talking about her breast size, her husband's penis size. She does know someday her kids will have access to the internet, right? They will hear this.
Would you ever get implants?
I don't think so.
Those are real breasts.
Yeah, these are real. I mean, they don't look fake, please.
Wow.
You know what's funny is when I got pregnant...
You're a C-cup, aren't you? You are.
My husband calls them killer bees. And then when I got pregnant, they became swimming seas, and Doug was frolicking in the ocean.
Did you ever think about being a stripper? Ever in your life?
No, and I don't think I'd be very good at it.
You don't?
No.
So you and Doug still have a good sex life?
I have to say, I think it's Dr. Phil, says that when the sex is bad, it's 95% of a marriage. When it's good, it's 5% of a marriage. And for us, it's 5% of the marriage.
When you make love to if your husband had been small, physically, I'm talking about his penis, would you not have married? Like, was that important to you? Like, would you have said, like, look, I don't think I can live with a penis this small?
You're a great guy.
I reject the hypothetical. There's no issues there.
It's not important to you. Penis size is not important.
I've never had to choose. Let's put it that way.
There is something I could say about Megyn Kelly right now, and I won't. And I would be completely justified in calling her exactly what it is that I'm thinking right now. She completely allowed herself to be pimped and degraded. I don't find what she did in any way being a class act in the face of an overt pig like Howard Stern. He is an overt pig. What was she doing on the show to begin with? And when he started to talk that way, she should have unplugged her headset and just walked out. Most of that interview, he was talking about, the other females at Fox News and how good looking they are. And, when they get ugly, do they get thrown off the air? When they get fat, do they get thrown off the air? Were there any of the women there that Megyn would flip and become bi for? I mean, the guy is a talentless pig. He is a pig and a scumbag. And that is all the deep commentary I have to do on responding to Howard Stern saying, he's going to run for president. He's a pig. A vile, vulgar scumbag. Another happy rant. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you're a subscriber to the channel. Smack the bell. Click the word all to get notification of my next rant. And make sure you're checking out the content on Rumble. I posted a commentary recently, but you didn't get the full commentary on what's going on with Pfizer basically owning every news organization through their advertising dollars. You got like a 3-minute clip of that here. Listen to the full 15 minutes on Rumble.